Good morning, campers and hikers. Where's the route today? Well, let's go up to Rob, who's standing right up there. Good morning, happy Saturday. Last week we explored the Calico Basin, which is just behind us. This week we started in the same place, but we're going round the point here into Redrock. So let's see what's around the corner. What do you think this area is?
It's a rock graveyard.
Let's have a look.
It's where all the rocks come to die. It's very Blair Witch-like.
I always see faces or animals in the rocks. What do you think? Some sort of petrified whale? Okay, it's that time in the video where we get the Nancy Perry official view opinion. Nancy Perry, what do we get today?
Speechless.
Speechless. Where does that sit in the spectacular scale?
10 points above.
Wow. High praise. This is a parking lot within the scenic drive of Redrock Canyon. So you can come right up to here, read the signboards, and then marvel at the scenery without having to walk the mileage that we do.
Yes I do. Yeah, I'm full-time here. My name is Ben. I work with the Southern Nevada Conservancy. We're a non-profit partnered here with the Bureau of Land Management, so we're not the ones in charge. We're working with the federal government to provide a lot of opportunities just like this one, educational interpretation. So we do ranger talks in the visitor center. A colleague of mine is probably in there now doing a tabletop on maybe bighorn sheep or ringtails, desert tortoises. We do guided hikes, field trips, classroom visits, helping the public connect with these incredible natural and cultural resources in our public lands. Yeah.
And as you said, this is a hell of an office, right?
It certainly is. I mean, this is my lunch view. You should see the window in our break room. I just get to stare at this while I'm eating my microwave. The biggest questions: why are the red rocks red? The red it's the same reason your blood is red. To put it simply, it's iron content. And so we've got these rocks here. These are sandstones, about 200 million years old, and the red ones here are full of hematite. It's an iron mineral. Hematite in a raw form is like a black lustrous metal, but it's in only small amounts here. You couldn't remove it or use it as iron ore or anything, but it's enough to give it that red color. Iron rusts, it turns red, so it's iron connected with oxygen, just like what's in your blood. It's that iron carrying oxygen around your body. And what gives the variety of different colors, of course, we're not seeing just that red, we're not seeing just the orange, we're seeing pinks and yellows and purples and things like we're seeing in this striped rock here. So we're seeing most of these rocks started off with that red color. 200 million years ago, these rocks were sand dunes covering this region. But millions of years after the rocks formed, while they were still deep underground, there were various episodes, again, this is millions of years ago, when the ground became saturated with water. The climate was much wetter, and you had acidic water moving through the ground, moving through the rocks, because the sandstone is porous. Water can move through the grains. And that acidic water in many places bleached the rocks, dissolved and carried away those minerals. So up towards the western end of the Calico Hills by Sandstone Quarry, we're seeing the rocks are that bright white yellow. So we're seeing the minerals were completely removed there. That boundary between yellow and red, that's showing you as far as that groundwater reached inside the rocks. Over here, this stripy section, we're seeing not all the minerals got removed. Maybe the water chemistry was a little bit different, but a lot of the minerals just got moved around or changed into different minerals with more purple or yellow instead of red. And that's what gives us the incredible stripes we see, all the tiger patterns, the polka dots, and all the other crazy, unpredictable forms throughout the Calico Hills. So that's how we get the colors, and that's how we get the textures, the interplay of minerals that were present in the first place and bleaching events affecting the rocks millions of years later. It's that same thing, that those bleaching events that were moving that iron around. Some of the iron minerals, yeah, sure thing, encountered little impurities in the rock, and they started to react. They started to clump up, and more iron reacted with the surface of that little cluster. So we're seeing the iron grow inside the rock, concentrate. So we're seeing, basically, it's, again, a hematite concretion. That's what we call it, a place where that hematite iron mineral concreted, aggregated, clustered, clumped up in a little spot inside the rocks. And in some places, it's more of like a hard nodule inside the rock.
Almost like a bump on top of the rock.
Yes,
as well.
yeah, you see the little innies and the outies, right?
Yeah.
That is what gives us, yeah, some of them are just like two-dimensional like that, but some of them, that iron content gives it, adds a lot of strength. Softer stone around might wear away while that little lump might remain intact. That's what gives you all the lumps and bumps. And sometimes, if they get eroded so much around them, the entire thing can pop out and form what we call a mochi marble. So there's some places here in Redrock where we see tons of those. The ground will just be paved with them. This one here is much larger. This one probably comes from maybe Grand Staircase or Bear's Ears over in Utah. So it's sort of oxidized on the outside. Looks more like, if you want a really interesting place where these are found, is on Mars. Actually, if you Google Martian blueberries, rovers have taken pictures of clusters of these, all oxidized and black on the outside, just lying on rock surfaces on the surface of Mars. Wow. So, probably similar geologic processes operating on that planet millions or billions of years ago as operated right here in Redrock Canyon.
And is this rock from the park?
Yes, it is. Yeah, so this is even older. So the two major bodies of rock we're seeing here are the sandstones and the limestones. The limestones, that's what we're seeing high above us, the gray La Madre Cliffs, as well as the Blue Diamond Hills across the highway there. That stuff is even older, back to about 530 million years old. And these are all marine rocks. So these formed at the bottom of a shallow tropical ocean. Because it's in that ocean, that tropical sea, we're seeing these limestones are full of marine fossils. Corals, sea sponges, bryozoans, brachiopods, trilobite, ammonites. What we're seeing here is a little bit of a bryozoan, sort of a coral animal, similar to a coral, built a little mineral skeleton, colonial animal living inside. These stripes through the middle here, this is a fossilized sea sponge. So we're seeing the mineral layers that sponge created to attach to the substrate, to the sediment at the bottom of the sea. Those mineral layers preserved here inside the rock. So a lot of diversity in the paleontology, the fossil record here. Yeah.
Dropped down from that parking lot back into the valley on the walk. What an amazingly knowledgeable gentleman that was. And the views here are the gift that just keep on giving. These look like the waves in the Valley of Fire. Nancy Perry, are you calling snack spot?
I'm calling snack spot.
We found snack spot. Stand by for tea. Last week we did some scrambling and didn't have the camera on to show you, so I'm going to try and give you an idea of what we have to cope with here. Would you like to go first, Nancy Perry?
I have no idea where I'm going.
Oh, okay, let me go then. That's the target, the saddle at the top there. And it's downhill, down scramble, all the way. What a view. Sometimes when you do a loop, you occasionally need to turn around because sometimes the best view is right behind you. Well, nice little workout for a Saturday morning. Well, came down from there. And still we have to go down in the valley, but there's a footpath just ahead. And that was that. That was exciting. If you need a reason or a view to give the hike a like, here it is. Give the hike a like. See you next week.